The Samsung Galaxy S22 Ultra, I think, is the best alternative to people who are looking for a different experience than the Pixel 6 and 6 Pro has to offer. Now, I know some people love the Pixel 6 and Pixel 6 Pro. I'm definitely on the Pixel 6 and 6 Pro bandwagon. I love my Pixel 6 and 6 Pro, but not everybody does, and not everybody is happy with their Pixel 6 or 6 Pro, and not everybody wants to buy one. And there's something to be said for the Pixel camera experience that has been top-notch for years, but I don't think that they're necessarily the best in the business anymore. And if they are, not necessarily in every category. So for several years, if you wanted to say, okay, what's the best camera experience you can get on a phone? So many people would say Pixel, 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 Pixel. And that was very, very true for a long time. And then along came the rest of the industry, and they caught up. They did. And in some ways, they've even surpassed that. And of course, Pixel's never been known for being the best in the video category. So Samsung, right here, interstage left, or interstage right, as it were, looking at the phone itself, it's always had kind of better video capabilities. When you look at an Android phone, I think still that iPhone has the best video capabilities. That's why I record one. That's why I'm recording with one right now. But from a still photography perspective, the S22 Ultra gives you a more complete experience, and I think in some ways is better, especially with the amazing telephoto zoom that it's got on here. You can zoom out 100 times zoom, all that craziness, and there's something to be said for that. The zoom on the Pixel phone, even though it's got on the Pixel 6 Pro a telephoto, not exactly the best one that I've ever seen, but it is good for up-close photography, and there is something to be said for that, even though it doesn't have a macro mode. But the S22 Ultra, I think, is a more complete experience, and they've passed up Pixel in the software department. And that's something that I've wanted to talk about here lately, because Google has always been the king of software, and rightfully so. They make Android. So you would think they would have the best experience with the longest support. And they kind of have, up until this last year. And now Samsung has pushed beyond that, offering 4 years of software updates, 4 years of operating system updates versus the 3 that you get with Google. And then you get 5 years of security patches, which is something that you get with Google as well. So the long-term support, and having caught up and in many ways passed up the Pixel in the camera department, this right here, I think, is the best you can get in the Android world, at least in the US, whenever it comes to the camera department, especially when it comes to video. If you want to do TikTok videos, if you want to do Instagram Reels, you want to do all that crazy stuff, this is the most complete and best Android phone that you can get for doing that stuff. And there are trade-offs, of course, though, because when you look at the Pixel 6 Pro, you can get it for $799 right now, and then you can get this for $1199. So, yes, there's a $400 difference there. And whenever you look at the normal $899 price point, there's a $300 difference. So there are attractive reasons, and you're certainly not at a loss if you pick up a Pixel 6 or 6 Pro. I love them. I've been making videos about them for a while because I think that they offer a lot of great value. And S22 Ultra, not something that you really equate and talk about in the value department. Lately, it's been great because they've had so many good trade-in deals, especially if you're a Samsung user. They don't even take the Pixel 6 or 6 Pro for trade-in credit, so that might tell you something there. But when you look at it from a straight-up Samsung perspective, yeah, for their Father's Day sale right now, you can trade in an S21 Ultra and get $1,000 trade-in credit, even if the screen is cracked up, and they lowered the price by like $125. So effectively, you could get this phone for $74.99 through Samsung right now during this Father's Day sale if you trade in an S21 Ultra. That's absolutely insane. If you're interested in that, I got a link in the description. You can click on that affiliate link and go pick up one from Samsung. Crazy deals. But then they also only give you $450 trade-in credit for like an iPhone 13 Pro or Pro Max. So they really want to keep Samsung people in the Samsung department. They don't really have a whole lot of love if you got an iPhone for a Pixel. But for those people looking for a great deal, Samsung is always in the great deal category. The Pixel phone, not always in the great deal department. They're not doing any stuff where you trade in an S21 Ultra and you can basically walk away with the Pixel 6 Pro for almost free. You always have to pay out of pocket. Sometimes there's carrier incentives, sometimes there's deals, but they can't even touch what you get in the Samsung department, and I think that's true of just about every other manufacturer. That's not a snub to Google and how they do their marketing. That's just something that Samsung does. And that's why, another reason why this phone is a great alternative. People have always kind of drawn themselves to the Pixel phone for the software experience and the camera experience. Those are always the best things you could get. You got the software patches and updates, you got the camera experience, and you got stock Android. Well, stock Android is not necessarily, I think, for some people, a winning argument anymore. I think some people like the extras. I actually like One UI better than I like the stock Android experience. I like what Samsung brings to the table with One UI. I think they've done a good job there. So it's not necessarily a clear-cut decision when you say, I want long-term support, I want a great operating system experience, and I want the best camera possible. This one right here, the S22 Ultra, gives you all of that the Pixel traditionally offers. But of course, you got to pay a little bit more to get into that when you look at it from an MSRP perspective, if you're not getting a good trade-in deal. But I think most people are not necessarily walking up and paying $800, $900 cash for a Pixel, and they're not walking up and paying $1,200 cash for an S22 Ultra. And there are some people that want an alternative that offers that same level of competition and support in something other than a Pixel. Not everybody wants to buy a Pixel phone to get those assurances and to get those kinds of support and capabilities. And I think this is finally the first time that I can say that Samsung pulls it off in all three of those categories, especially taking it to the next level, offering more software updates. They've given more software updates, more refinements, and more improvements to their phone, making it a more complete package over a lot of the bug-ridden problems we've had with the Pixel phone since the Tensor came out with the Pixel 6. Now, is that something that they can change, that Google can do differently with the Pixel 7? I think so. Do they need to bump it up to 4 years of software updates? I think that they do. I think they need to get more competitive, and I think that they kind of got lazy saying, well, we've got the best camera experience. You can't really rely on that and set back on your laurels anymore and take that one to the bank. That's not something that's drawing people away like it used to, especially when you go and you look at it from the financing department. And this makes a lot more sense financially for a lot of people if you're in the business of getting an upgrade, a trade-in, or going through the carrier incentives. So just some food for thought. But I think that if you're looking for something that gives you all the stuff that the Pixel does and more, and don't want to have to get a Pixel, then this right here is the most complete experience that you can get in a smartphone. I said it's the MVP of smartphones for Android in 2022. And on top of all that, you also get the S Pen for the multitasking. And you got the big 5,000 milliamp battery. You got the best smartphone screen that you can get in the business. And it's not really something where you sit there and go, oh yeah, well, I have to buy a Samsung phone. Samsung offers a lot, and it makes a very competitive alternative to all the things that you look for in a Pixel phone before, but you don't necessarily want to buy a Pixel. Now, not saying don't buy a Pixel, not saying the Pixel 6 and 6 Pro don't have a lot of offer, not saying that you shouldn't go buy one if you're interested in picking one up. But this is for people who are out there saying, okay, I like all this stuff, I want it, but I don't necessarily want a Pixel. Or for people out there who have a Pixel 4 or 5 or a 6 and want to try something different but don't want to compromise. That's kind of what this is geared towards, to give people some reassurance that the Samsung phone offers you a lot in that department that you could probably be happy with if you're looking to try something else. So that's all I got in this video. If you have any questions or comments, please go down in the comment section. I will get back with you. If you enjoyed the video, please hit the like and the subscribe button and the little notification bell if you want updates when new videos come out. And as always, thanks for being here. I appreciate you watching, and I'll see you guys next time.